work towards completely professionalizing our police force. Honorable Speaker, yesterday the Minister or the Cabinet Secretary in charge of the Interior and National Security did pronounce himself on a number of reforms within the police service. And part of those reforms must and should be implemented or supervised, the implementation will be supervised by the National Police Service Commission. And I want to call on these nominees as they join the commission to ensure that these reforms are implemented fully, that they professionalize our police force, and support our police officers. Because Honorable Raso has said it, and I know he came from the uniformed forces. These are men and women who give their lives to the service of our nation. In other jurisdictions, Honorable Speaker, and many of you who travel outside see, that those who have served in the military, those who have served in the police forces in their jurisdictions, are accorded very high respect, but even in retirement, not just when they're in service. You see, when you go to the US, they don't even queue in banks or at airports, those who have served in the military or in the disciplined forces. Why is it, Honorable Speaker, that for us we do not treat our servicemen and women with the same honor and dignity, yet we expect the same in return, Honorable Speaker? If we expect to be treated with courtesy, with honor and with respect by our uniformed officers, let us also treat them with the respect and honor that comes with the officers that they serve in, Honorable Speaker. These are the officers who are salute at you, Honorable Speaker, and me and everybody else as we pass them in the streets. Many of us never bother to take our time to even know how they are doing, Honorable Speaker. And they are Kenyans like every other Kenyan, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, allow me also, Honorable Speaker, to take this opportunity. As much as we condemn excessive use of force by any officer, Honorable Speaker, and Honorable Speaker, to state that whatever happens, Honorable Speaker, in a country that has the rule of law at the core of its operations, Honorable Speaker, is something that this House must pay attention to, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, even or in spite or despite of the sad happenings of the death of Albert Ojwang, Honorable Speaker, I must commend the police that they have done their work to ensure that those who are responsible are brought to book, Honorable Speaker. Because that is how civilized nations work. That is how civilized democracies work. That you allow investigative agencies to do their work, take action against those who are seen to have been involved in one way or the other in breach of the law, Honorable Speaker. But also in the same light, Honorable Speaker, even as we condemn the excesses of a number of officers, because it is not all officers, Honorable Speaker. It is a few officers. Just like, Honorable Speaker, even in this House, we are not all angels. There are many of us who have our own shortcomings. And therefore, in every institution, Honorable Speaker, even within the police force, there are officers who will have excesses, and the law must be allowed to take its course, Honorable Speaker. But that must never be a justification that if an officer or two have exceeded the expectations of the public, Honorable Speaker, for us as members of the public to take the law into our hands, because that will be courting disaster and chaos in the country. I have seen activists in the streets, Honorable Speaker, touting policemen, an armed police officer, and you are touting them. I saw somebody, Honorable Speaker, the other day in Nakuru, brandishing a machete at an armed police officer, and I must take this opportunity, Honorable Speaker, to commend that officer in Nakuru who was being taunted with a panga. His life would have been at risk, or the lives of other Kenyans, but he maintained his cool. That is the kind of spirit we want to see, Honorable Speaker. But we must also speak to our people. We must also speak to the public that let us also treat our policemen and women with respect, with honor, and with the dignity that they deserve. Honorable Speaker, it is said, Honorable Speaker, that if you want to know the cost of education, try ignorance. If you want to know the cost of chaos, Honorable Speaker, allow, Honorable Speaker, everybody to roam the streets and do what they want and withdraw the police from those streets any day. Whether they are people picketing, whether they are demonstrators, whether they are mobilized looters, like we have seen, Honorable Speaker, in the recent past, what we are seeing being described as demonstrations, are organized groups of goons Honorable Speaker. Organized groups of goons. And you know, shamelessly, I had a leader purport that even the cars that were burnt last week were nowhere in the register of vehicles at NTSA. And I want to dare the former deputy president. It is okay to go and incite people on vernacular radio, but you must have the decency to adduce evidence of every allegation and claim that you make. Otherwise, you continue to exhibit the sort of ignorance that you served within office, even when you're out of office, Honorable Speaker. Kenyans witnessed those cars being burnt down. It only took me 5 minutes, Honorable Speaker, to be able to check. Just zoom in, look at the number plates, check for those number plates at NTSA, and you'll be able to see that these are cars. One of them belongs to a security company, Honorable Speaker. You saw the officers who are in the escort car. Those officers, mind you, Honorable Speaker, are allowed to use brutal force to protect what they are escorting. Because most of them, it's cash in transit. They do not know who are these who are stopping them in the streets when they are transiting with cash. But those officers, Honorable Speaker, if you saw the video clips, they fired in the air to scare the people who are blocking the van that had the valuables that they were transporting, and they were able to sail through. Unfortunately, the one that had unarmed officers, Honorable Speaker, ended up being torched. I'm saying this, Honorable Speaker, to appeal to members of the public. Let us not taunt our officers.